Soften them up. As soon as you soften them up, he's going to put them in the tray and start to roll them up. Inside, he's going to add some chopped onions and some onion rings. As you can see, my brother's taller than I am.
Hey, I have a question. How long do you leave the tortillas in the oven? I mean, in the oil. How long in the oil?
Not long. A couple of seconds. Only a couple of seconds.
Just so they get kind of soft?
Exactly. If you leave them in too long, they'll start to dissolve.
Or they'll turn into chips.
There we go. Now I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to get to rolling those enchiladas.
Hey, Chef, besides the enchiladas, what kind of food do y'all serve at Keno?
Oh, it's Mexican-American, mostly American, because we have the chicken fried steak. It's homemade. Everything in the Keno is homemade from scratch. We get our own meat, we cut it up. Nowadays, you go anywhere, they have the chicken fried steak. It's frozen. They just pop it in the fryer. Right there, we make everything. So we have our own batter right here for the onion ring.
What cut of steak do you use for your chicken fried steak?
Right now, we're using the top inside round, and it's 3.5 ounces for every chicken fried steak. And nobody's gonna get more than the other guy next to you. Everybody's gonna get the same portion. Same with the fajitas, everything. Everything's portioned out.
Is it already tenderized? Do y'all tenderize?
Yeah, we tenderize ourselves. We have this machine that's been there like 20-some years. Put it through there. Still working.
Has anybody got their hand caught in the machine? Or?
Nah, not yet. Don't jinx us.
Knock on wood, there's some up there on the cabinets behind you.
It's very fast to make this, the enchiladas and everything, because if you have the chili meat already made, which takes 3.5 hours, like I said, the enchiladas should take like 4 or 5 minutes, something like that. The onion rings, as long as you have everything prepped, you're ready.
What do you use to melt the cheese on the enchiladas?
Well, normally we use a salamander, the cheese melter, but right now we got the oven, so it'll do.
And for those of us who don't know what a salamander is, I think that's a slimy lizard like that lives in water. What's a salamander?
Well, we have one in the kitchen that's real huge. I mean,
is it
cheese melter,
salamander?
Nah, but it's like the oven, but it doesn't have a door.
It's like a broiler?
Yeah, so you just put it in there, it melts like in a minute. You walk through the doors at Keno, it's less than 10 minutes, you have your plate there.
Awesome.
Salamanders, we can explain a little bit better. It's a cheese broiler. That's all it is. It's like an oven, but it doesn't have a door on it. You know, you put everything in there, and it takes like, I would say, a minute for it to melt the cheese. Then you just pull it out. It's real quick. Like he was saying, most of the plates we pre-cook. We cook the chile con carne. Like I would say, we pre-cook it for about a couple of hours, and then when we're getting ready to throw the order, it takes seconds. All we do is put the cheese on top of the tortillas. We wet the tortillas, put the chile con carne on top of the tortillas, put the cheese on top of that, pop in the oven. From the first step to the last step, it'll probably take 5 minutes. So by the time it gets to your plate, by the time it gets to your table, it should take about 7 minutes to get to your table. So we're pretty quick.
So, because y'all are doing all your stuff cooked to scratch and made to order, how many cooks do y'all have in the back, like during lunch?
Well, usually like in the morning, like the breakfast we have 3. In the lunch we have 2, and the evening we have 2.
2 at lunchtime?
Yes, 2.
Man, you guys must be fast.
Yeah, but I think we have everything prepped. We have 2 in lunch and 1 to prep. It's a system that's been working for, I don't know how many, like I was saying, 70-some years.
Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of business that come, and restaurants open close by, and like they last maybe 10, 15 years, then they close up, and we're surprised that the Keno's lasted so long. We're doing something right. Like I was saying earlier, most of the secret ingredient is the oregano. I don't know if you guys who make the chili meat, your spices you add to your chili, but I don't put any beans in there. You can add it if you want to, but a lot of people put beans. We don't put beans or bean nice stuff.
We just had a question from the audience again. What is y'all's address?
253 South Texas. We're in front of City Hall. You can't miss it.
In front of City Hall, across the street from Lone Star National Bank.
Yeah, we're right there.
If you get south of Business 83,
see he has a question over there.
Yes, ma'am. We have a question. Okay, how are you guys doing? Y'all doing your onion rings? We've had 3 different. Y'all are the third ones that do onion rings.
Yes.
Tell us what you're doing on those.
Right now, what we do? Yeah, he was telling right now. Talk about the onion rings. That's why we're here. Yeah. No, because right now, I don't know if you noticed the onions. The other ones were kind of smaller. These are colossal. We ordered them special for this event because we knew. I mean, that's the main thing. You want a big onion to look nice. So that's what we got right here. And we got our own batter. We put some eggs in there, some powdered milk, some pepper, salt, and some water. Not that much water. We mix it up in there to get them wet, and then we put them to the flour, and then we get them wet again with the batter. Then we put them in some cracker meal. It has to be fine cracker meal, not the thick kind. It has to be fine so you can come out like this. There's different kinds of cracker meal: medium, the heavy, and the grind. And you gotta know which one you're using. Which is right here is the fine.
So, for those of us that aren't in the restaurant business and aren't in the agricultural business, when you say a colossal onion, about how many onions come in a 50-pound sack if they're colossal?
Yeah, I'm gonna say like 25 because the 50-pound sack comes with the highest you're gonna find like in HEB or your store. It's gonna be like jumbo. That's the most they go for.
So, my math is right. That means each of those onions is almost 2 pounds.
Yeah, they're huge. They're big. Right here.
There you go. Looks like a softball.
And I don't know if most of you know the reason they're called 10-15, like the onions, they're called 10-15 because they come out at 10-15, right? But they're the same day as the day of harvest, October the 15th. That's how come they were called. A little bit of history, I don't know. Any more questions, guys? I mean, they make all kinds of meals there. I mean, fajitas, seasoning fajitas, chicken fried steak. We have sweet steak, any kind of. Yeah, we have the jumbo shrimp. I mean, we have a lot of meals in there. It's a small menu, but I mean, it's surprised how many items we have in there. And if we don't have it there, you just tell us. So go ahead and make it.
Hey, we had a question over here on the onion rings when you're frying them. Okay. What temperature and for about how long?
350, like the lady said earlier. Yeah, that's the matching number right there. 350 in the oven. Mostly, unless you have something out of the ordinary, like pizza. That's for 100 or anything higher. But we don't cook pizza at Keno, right? I'm just saying. Like,
so do you cook them until they float, or do you put a timer on them?
Normally it's like, I'm going to say like 3 or 4 minutes, but this fryer's smaller and the grease doesn't get that hot like the commercial fryers, so we got to work with this one.
What kind of oil do you use?
Canola.
Do you use cholesterol-free?
The canola frying oil. A lot of people use the fattening, shortening, but we use canola. Only the good stuff there. I mean, protect your heart.
That's right.
And if I can also add to that question about how long do you cook the onions, onions you can eat them raw, so you don't have to really cook them. What you're actually cooking is the batter. It depends on how you want the batter. If you want it lightly cooked, if you want it super dark, it all depends on how you want it. So when you go by eyesight, you know.
What's that golden brown color?
Keno Cafe. No?
All right, there we go.
I mean, we've been there 78 years. I mean, at least you drove through there.
Come on, Cheryl, pick up your hand. I know you've been there.